Hey fellow artists, I'm back in my workshop today. I'm working on a commission build and a build for myself. I've sold a lot of CBGs with these Padron boxes, but I want one for myself. So this neck is for this Padron. While I'm working on my commissioned piece for a very awesome guy, shout out to William, I'm going to be carving these Americana-style F-holes onto this Padron box. And I want to take you through the process of how I set up a box for carving with my budget laser engraver. So this is my ancient Alienware that I have set up with my budget laser engraver with a few modifications on the engraving module. Check out my laser engraver playlist to find out why I did that. Now, before I turn on my engraver, I am going to adjust the engraving module to the height of this box lid. So to space the module on top of the box properly, I'm going to use this spacing tool that came with the engraver. I always leave a little more space above this spacer. The lid of this box doesn't lay perfectly flat, so I want to make sure there's enough clearance for the module to move around without getting stuck on top of the box, right? And again, I'm going to leave a little space between the module and the spacer. I'm doing this very carefully so I do not move the module from the X0 position so I don't get any misaligned burns later. Okay, that should be good. Now that we got the module spaced perfectly on top of the box, we can turn on our engraver and align the box under the module. But in order to do that, we need to load the engraving pattern I want into Laser Gerbil. I'm going to open the file I want. I want my Americana-style F-holes, which are a good size for my box. There we have it. Go to next. I found that 200 millimeters a minute is a good engraving speed. Have the laser mode on M4 dynamic power. You do not ever want to use it on constant power, folks. And I want to click on auto size. That's a must. And then create. Connect my laser engraver to Laser Gerbil. So I'm going to click connect. Okay, so now it's ready. Now I'm going to press on this icon here to move the laser module to the center of my pattern. So here we go. Okay, so that's the center of my pattern. Now I know that that position is at the center of my pattern, so I got to align my box. I'm going to click on the extremities of my pattern to make sure that my box correctly centered and aligned. I'm going to double click on this position here, and the laser engraver will move to that position. Okay, cool. Now, if we are perfectly aligned, when I click on the edge of the opposite F-hole, it should also be aligned with the edge of the box. So let's see if it's centered. Not quite. All right, I'm going to keep making adjustments until we get the same amount of spacing on both sides. Okay, so the top of the pattern is still within the box's lid. Perfect. Now, before I press the play button to engrave, actually cut, I'm in a cutting mode right now. I'm going to bring it back to center and run the cutting program. Here we go. And there it goes. Okay, so the laser engraving is complete.
And now I'm just going to use a pair of scissors to gently carve out the holes. Okay, so this is what the F-holes look like after a little bit of fire pit detailing. Beautiful. Ah, let's get a preview of it with the neck I'm going to use. Oh, this one's going to look and sound so gorgeous. Alright, folks, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Chaito.